I hope you were able to find a strap, or you can use a regular belt as long as it's long and flimsy. You could probably even use a tie, or if you have, what are they called? Any of our TheraBands or stretchy bands like that. Just as long as it's similar somewhat to this, you will be ready for today. I hope you are all having a wonderful week, maybe getting stuff done, finding a little sunlight while it's still here. I think it's supposed to be raining for the next couple of days, or at least this weekend. Other than that, we have, about 2 more minutes or so, and then we'll get started. I just want to make sure that everybody had the things that they needed to be successful in class today. So once again, make sure that you have a chair with a non-slippery surface underneath. So like for me, I have my yoga mat, and I'm making sure that all 4 legs of my chair are grounded. And then I have my strap. All right, so 1 more minute or so and we will get started. Oh, if you didn't see, I posted also, I've been here with the Woodlands Yoga Studio for over a year now. Last month was my 1-year mark when I began teaching classes. So I am excited to still be here with you all and to be able to provide more classes in the future. I have my windows open because it's nice and cool outside. Squirrels are playing. It's cute. All right, just about ready. All right, so it's officially 9 and let's get started. So sit up nice and tall in your chair, find a comfy seat, maybe move anything out of the way that's preventing your sit bones from being grounded. Feel free to rest your back into the back of the chair. You can relax your hands palm up or palm down on the tops of your thighs. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze. Maybe just take a moment here to check in with how your body is feeling, maybe how you're feeling emotionally today. Just checking in without judgment, without changing anything. If you'd like, you can utilize this time to set an intention for your practice. Maybe your day, or a dedication to yourself or someone else in need. And then let's move our attention to our breath. Just acknowledging how it's coming in and out of the body. Is it shallow or deep? Does it fill your belly or chest or both? Are your breaths quick or long? Let's begin to cultivate our breath. Inhaling in through the nose and out through the mouth. I love this sound. So simple and relaxing. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. A few more times at your own pace. And let's begin a little ujjayi breathing. So we're going to restrict the back of the throat. So we'll sound a little bit like Darth Vader, but we're going to keep our mouth closed now. So we'll inhale in through the nose, restrict the back of the throat, and breathe out. And continue this restricted exhale in the back of your throat at your own pace. Making your exhale longer than your inhale. Just a couple more. And then after your next exhale, we'll return our breath back to normal. And then gently open the eyes. Good. We're going to start with our wrists today. So we're going to clasp our hands together. You can bring them out in front. They don't need to be extended, but just out in front. And we're going to just make some circles in one direction. Just finding as much movement between the wrists as you can. And then the opposite. My wrists are a little poppy this morning. This is my first stretching of the day myself. And then maybe feel like wiggling them around. Good. And then we'll release. Good. Now we're going to bring the hands out in front of us. And we're going to flex and extend the hands. So we're still working into the wrists, but we're adding in the fingers a little bit here too. Good. And then we're going to move over to the left wrist only, and we're going to use the right hand to pull down from the top of the hand. So our left fingertips are facing towards the floor, and we're using our right hand to just get a good stretch around the top of the wrist. And this may be a little intense, so feel free to release and come back in as many times as needed. I'm putting a slight bit of pressure from the back of my palm into my hand, so it's that kind of push-pull motion we do a lot. Good, and then we'll flip the fingertips up, grab the front of the hand and pull the fingertips and palm towards the top of the forearm. Good, so I have a big stretch down the front of my wrist here. I have a little bit of a stretch going through the center of the palm from my fingers, but again, this may be different for you. So really good if you spend a lot of time on the computer or at a desk writing, maybe even after a lot of gardening, like I'm sure many of us are doing at this time. Good, and then release. Roll it around a little bit, and then we'll switch to the opposite hand. So we're going to pull the fingertips down first. And just try to breathe through it. Or release and come back in. No worries, it's still nice and early. Good, one more breath here in this direction. then we'll flip the fingertips up and turn the opposite side. Woo. My right hand is much tighter than my left. I can definitely feel my dominant side more here. Good. So again, I have a stretch down the front of my wrist, down my arm, through the center of my palm and into my fingers on this side. If you're not tight in this area, you may not feel that, and that's okay. Maybe you're getting a little bit of a stretch in a different space. Good. And then just one more breath. And then we'll gently release. Good. Roll them out, wiggle them around. Whatever you might need to do to release any of that tension we just created. Good. And then from here, we're just going to extend each leg out, pulling back the toes. Sorry if my feet are a little dirty, and then pointing, pulling back and release. Good. Alternate side, pull the toes back, point, pull them back, and release. Good. Just alternating from side to side, extending the leg out. Getting a little stretch to the front of the shin, the back of the calf. Good, I'll also turn sideways so you can see my full leg here. We're just alternating from side to side. Feel free to coordinate your movement with your breath. Just getting a little warm up for the shins, the calves, the knees. Probably even feel the top of your quads engaged here. Just a couple more on each side. Good. Make sure you're really pointing those toes. Good. Last one on the right or left. Good. And then we'll release. Coming back to center on our chair. And now let's get the upper body on board. So feel free to watch me first and then follow along. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, big, long body here, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. And then on an exhale, I'm going to turn my low rib and up over to the right and release my arms down. So I'm coming into a little bit of a gentle twist. I'm only using my lead hand on the outside of my thigh here. Opposite hand is just reaching back. And then we'll inhale up and twist over to the opposite side. Good. And I'm using this lead hand on the outside of my thigh. I'm pressing my thigh into my hand. This is assisting my twist and my spine to stay long. Good. Continue on. Inhaling up. Big stretch. And exhale, twist over to one side. Good. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, twist. Feel free to continue on at your own pace or feel free to follow along with me. Just a couple more here. Inhaling up. And exhale, release. Last time here to the right side. We'll inhale up. And exhale, release. Good. Last inhale up, big stretch. And then exhale, release the arms down by the sides. Good. So we're going to move into a little dancing cat here. So it looks kind of like cat-cow, but we're going to lift one knee. So our hands are going to come to the tops of the thighs, but we're not going to use our hands to lift the knee as much as possible. So we'll come forward, bringing the chest forward, lifting the gaze for our cow pose. And then on our exhale, we'll round the spine and hug one knee in. Good. Inhale or exhale, yogi's choice, into our cow pose. And then exhale, knee into the chest. Remember, no hands if possible. If you need hands, though, it's quite okay. And don't worry, you can lift just a couple inches away from the floor or you can hug it in nice and tight. Just whatever your body is needing or wanting today. See here, I'm using my hand just a little bit. Really try to find that full expression in each direction, coordinating your breath with your movement, and keeping a steady pace, moving back and forth. Good. Just creating a couple of different variations here. Just a couple more times on each side. And then after that last one on each side, we'll come back to neutral. Good. All right. So now we're going to bring our strap on board. So whatever you have, just make sure you have it nice and long. And we're just going to start very wide. So when you raise your hands up with the strap between your hands, we should be making a nice wide V. So we're going to move into some side stretches here with our strap. And if this tends to dangle and get in your way and bother you, feel free to roll it up on either side, so it's just not in the way. Doesn't bother me at all. So my arms are up nice and wide. I'm sitting up nice and tall in my chair. And then I'm going to bring my right hand down towards the mat. My left hand is just along for the ride. So I am gripping firmly with my hands onto the strap. And I'm moving the right hand down, keeping my left sit bone grounded into the chair, getting a nice stretch on the left side body. Good, and from here you might see my hands going a little bit forward. So if I were to open up my chest some, I can take my gaze up underneath that left tricep. Whew, and really open up through the chest, the left side body. I'm actively grounding down my left sit bone and left foot. Good, and then we'll inhale back upright and exhale over to the opposite side. So the left hand is drawing down towards the mat. My right side is nice and long, grounding down my right sit bone. And then I can turn my gaze underneath my right tricep and open up my chest just a little bit more. Whew. Any of these stretches, my arms up and overhead, always are nice, big stretches for me. I hope they are for you too. And then inhale back upright, and exhale, release the arms down. Whew. We'll take a full breath in and out here, and then we'll try one more time on each side. So when you're ready, take a nice wide hold onto your strap. We'll inhale, reach the hands up and over, nice long spine, gaze is lifted. So we do want to stay tall here. I'll stay on this side just so we have a good view. And then as I draw my right hand down to the mat, my left hand follows over. I'm grounding down my left sit bone, my left foot. Taking my gaze underneath my left tricep. Opening up. And breathing. And then on the next exhale, gently come back to center and over to the opposite side. Remember, grounding down the right sit bone, the right foot, pressing firmly in, and taking the gaze underneath the right tricep, staying tall throughout the spine, and finding our breath. One more more breath here. And we'll inhale back up to center. And exhale, release the arms down. Woo, feel free to take a couple shoulder rolls if you need it. Maybe wiggle around if that feels good. And then we're going to take the strap again. But this time, we're going to take the strap behind us. So we'll inhale, reach the hands up. We want an extra wide grip this time. So I'm going to turn around just so you can see me, but feel free to stay right where you are. Good. So I'm here nice and tall. And on my exhale, I'm going to bring my hands down behind my back. Good. If this feels too tight here, you can always create more space. I'm just kind of flossing the shoulders. Back and forth. Coordinating your breath with your movement. No worries if it's an inhale or an exhale, just as long as it's a breath. Good. And then maybe if you're feeling a little looser now, we can take a little bit more of the strap in each hand. Feel free to come forward on the chair if you need to, or take the strap behind you. Good. Just forward and back. And if you only go here today, create some more space. It's okay. We don't have to be rigid in our yoga. We can find space to move the way we need to. Good. Just a couple more maybe. Take your strap just a little bit closer together between the hands. Last one here. As you can see, we're still staying nice and tall. Trying not to move the head as we come behind. But if we do, that's okay too. Trying to keep the arms long. But if you find a slight bend, that's okay. No worries. Whew. I got a nice little pop at the top of my spine. Good. Last one here. We'll pause with the strap behind the back. Oh, try to pull it apart. And then inhale, reach it back up and over. And release it down to the lap. Good. All right, so let's give our shoulders a little bit of break. And we're going to take the strap. Maybe try to make sure that it's about even. And then we're going to take it to the ball of the right foot. And we're going to extend that leg out long. Good. So if your leg's down here, that's okay. If it's parallel with your knee, that's good. We just don't need it cranked up into the air. Okay, so the toes are engaged, pulling back towards the kneecap. Ball of the foot is pressing firmly into the strap. Good, so it's that kind of pointed movement there. Pointed. Oh, no, not pointed. That would be pointed. Toes back and engaged, pressing through the ball of the foot, as if we were trying to move into that direction. Good. We're staying up nice and tall. So draw your chest through your collarbones. Shoulder blades are down and back. Leg is extended. You might feel a nice stretch down the back of your calf, maybe even to your hamstring. So just a little single leg stretch. If you'd like, you can hinge forward a little bit. This will intensify the stretch, just as long as we still have our tall spine. Good. One more full breath. And then on the next exhale, we'll gently release down to the floor. Now, before you take your foot out, let's put the opposite one in and release that one. That way, nice quick transition. And then inhale, extend the left leg out. Toes are pulled back, but we're pressing through the ball of the foot. Hands are nice and firmly grasping the strap, tall through the spine. Option to hinge forward a little bit if we were looking for a deeper stretch into our hamstring or calf. If you're having any pain behind the knee, feel free to take a slight bend. And just a gentle reminder, everything I have here and in all the yoga classes you'll ever take are simply offerings. If something is not working for you today, no worries at all. Feel free to skip it, take a modification, or leave us a message or a comment on the video, and we will do our best to answer that question for you and how to do that pose differently or in another way that works better for your body. Good, let's take one more full inhale and exhale here. And then on our next exhale, we'll gently release it down to the mat. And this time we're going to take the strap fully off of the foot. Good. So from here, we're going to set our strap down to the side just for a moment. We're going to get into those shoulders without our strap. So we're going to draw the shoulders up towards the ears. And then we're going to create a half circle and roll them back and down. Good. Inhaling, drawing up towards the ears. Exhale, rolling back and down. You can leave your hands down by your sides or let them rest on the tops of your thighs. Good. Just getting a little more active movement, using our muscles to draw the shoulders up towards the ears and rolling them back. Good. If your shoulders are anything like mine, you might hear a few pops and creaks as you move around, but as long as we're not in pain, we're good. Good. All right, let's reverse the direction, and it will look silly and it will feel silly, but that's okay, nobody's watching. And so we're going to roll forward and down. Good. Up, forward, and down. Good. I'll look silly for us all. Good. Keep it moving. Good. Now let's just try some big shoulder circles, or shoulder shrugs, whatever you'd like to call them. Forward, and then back. Remember to keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Good. Good. And then we'll release it down. So we're going to take our strap one more time here. And I'm going to turn around because this next pose is a little bit different. But first, let's take the strap over our right shoulder. Okay? So we have the strap over the right shoulder. Left hand is going to reach up, thumb pointing towards the wall behind you. And we're going to bend it. And we're going to grab hold of that strap as it's behind the back. Okay? If you need to pass it, that's okay too. And then the opposite hand is going to come out to the right. We're going to turn thumb down. And then we're going to take the back of the hand towards the back. And if it's down here, that's okay. If it's up here, great. No worries. But we're going to grab the strap with both hands. You see my elbows are coming forward first. I want to open them up and try to pull the strap apart. Good. Lots of activation here. I'm even shaking a little bit. I'm trying to pull the strap away so firmly. Good. So the front, my arms look like this. Good. 2 more full breaths in and out. We'll only do this one time on each side. And then gently release. We're going to release by opening the bottom hand, bringing the hand back out just like we came, flipping thumb up, and then we'll release down by the sides. Top hand will release, extend out to the side, thumb up, and then release it down. Woo! Good. All right, let's switch to the opposite side. So my strap is over my left shoulder now. My right hand is going to reach out, thumb up, and then I'm going to bring the hand up and bend it behind my head. Feel free to use the opposite hand if you need a little help grabbing that strap, no worries. And then my left hand is going to reach out to the side, first thumb up, then I'm going to rotate the arm, thumb down, reach the hand behind the back, grab a hold of my strap. Good. And then I'm going to pull apart the strap with my hands, letting my elbows come out to the sides instead of out front. Stay nice and tall. Really try to pull that strap apart. Remember to breathe. Good, 2 more breaths. Think about those elbows, think about that grasp. And then gently release. Let go of the bottom hand first. Bringing my left hand out to the side, thumb down. Rotate thumb up and then release. Top hand releases the strap. Comes out to the side, thumb up, and then release down to the sides. Whew. All right, let's get rid of this strap for today. And then we're going to come into our sequences. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide. So we're going to go back to our traditional, what I normally do in my chair yoga classes for today. So that means that I'm going to keep my right toes forward with the ankle underneath the knee. And I'm going to turn my left toes out. So this is kind of like what we would do for our warrior two. So my ankles are both underneath my knees, my right toes are forward, and my left toes are over to the left. I'm staying tall throughout the spine, my torso is still facing the front. I'm going to inhale my hands up, broaden across the collarbones, palms facing each other. And then I'm going to twist from the bottom rib towards my left leg. I'm pressing firmly through the feet, long throughout the spine. And here's our warrior one. Breathe here in this pose. Think about your palms, your shoulders. Are they pulling up near your ears or are they pulling down? Good. Long throughout the spine. Core is engaged, so that means if you press your belly, you should feel some firmness underneath. Palms of the feet pressing firmly into the floor mat. Gaze is over to the left. And then on my next exhale, I'm going to turn my chest back towards the front, but I'm going to open up my arms, reaching my fingertips for the front and back of my mat. My gaze is over to the left fingertips. My fingers are nice and closed. My shoulders are down, long throughout the hands, still pressing firmly through the feet. So you should feel some activation in your legs, your core, your spine, your arms. We're really getting the whole body on board here. And breathing. Good, 2 more breaths. Really think about that alignment. And that breath. Good, then on your next exhale, release the hands to the hips. We're going to turn all 10 toes towards the front of our mat. Then we'll inhale the hands up. And exhale, draw the elbows down into cactus. So we're finding our goddess pose. Good. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Good. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Palms facing towards me. And then exhale, release the hands down. Good. So we're going to rest the hands on the tops of the knees. We're going to do a few goddess circles. So we're making some big circles, almost as if your torso is drawing a circle around your hips. Good. So we're just going in one direction. Good, 1 more circle here. And then we'll switch directions. Good, just a couple more in this direction. And then we'll move on to the opposite side. Good. So sitting up nice and tall. We have have our toes facing forward, so we're going to leave our left toes right where they are as long as the ankle is underneath the knee. And then we're going to turn the right toes out. So we're opening up this hip. Make sure that that right ankle is under the right knee. We'll inhale the hands up, palms facing towards each other. And then exhale, turn the torso towards the lead leg. Good. Palms of the feet are pressing firmly into the mat. We're breathing in our warrior one. Palms facing each other. Long throughout the spine. Grounded through our sit bones and our feet. Finding our full inhale and exhales. And then on the next exhale, we'll open up the hands for warrior two. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Fingertips reaching long away from each other. Gaze is looking towards the right fingertips. Our feet are planted firmly into the floor. Long spine. And breathe. And then on the next exhale, we'll gently release the hands. Turn all 10 toes back towards the front of the mat. Good. And then we're going to return back to the opposite side. So left toes turn towards the left, moving a little bit faster now. Right toes are still facing towards the front of the mat. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, turn the torso towards the lead leg on the left side. Ground down the feet, elongate through the spine, palms facing each other. And breathe. On your next exhale, open up warrior two. Long throughout the fingertips, shoulders drawing away from the ears. Good. On your next exhale, we'll release the hands to the hips. Turn all 10 toes towards the front. And then we're going to move into our cactus arm. So we'll inhale the hands up. And exhale, draw the elbows down. Good. Inhale, draw the hands up. Exhale, draw the elbows down. Good. Last one. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, elbows draw down. Hugging the shoulder blades together. Good. And then inhale, draw up. And exhale, release the hands down to the knees. And we'll move through our goddess circles. Good. So 3, moving in one direction. Staying with your breath. Good. And then we'll reverse, going in the opposite direction. And one last one here. And then we'll all pause right back at neutral. Good. Left toes stay where they are, ankle underneath the knee. Right toes turn out. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, turn towards those right toes. Ground down through the feet. Sit bones long through the spine. Palms facing each other. Our warrior one here. Are you holding your breath? Are you breathing fully in and out? Is your mind wandering, or are you right here with me? Being present in this moment. And then exhale out, warrior two. Fingertips reach in opposite directions. Gaze is over to the right fingertips, shoulders are drawing down. And then exhale, release the hands down. Turn all 10 toes back towards the front of the mat. Awesome job. All right, so today we're gonna get up and get standing a little bit. So feel free to stand up. I'm going to turn my chair to the side so you can see what we're doing today. But we're going to come to standing right behind the chair. Okay, so from here, we're going to move into a little bit into our chair pose. So we're going to keep our hands firmly onto the back of the chair. So if you don't have this little back, it's better to grab, but otherwise, we're just going to grab it the best we can. So you are probably leaned over a little bit like me. So I want you to think about elongating the spine, drawing the shoulders back first. And then on your exhale, we're going to sit back into our chair. Feet are hip distance apart. We're pressing through the balls of the feet, finding all 3 or 4 corners. And maybe take a little peek down and see if your knees are tracking over your toes. If they are forward, we want to press the hips back so our toes are visible again. And then we can take our gaze to where the wall meets the ceiling. So we're long through the spine, booty is back, feet are firmly into the floor, and we're broad across the collarbones. Good, maybe go a little bit deeper. And then inhale, press up. And exhale, set back in your imaginary chair behind your real chair. Good. Check those toes. Return that gaze. Elongate through the spine. And then inhale, press up. Whew, good. All right, one more chair pose here. So hold on to your chair. Sit back in your imaginary chair. Check those toes. Maybe go a little bit deeper than you did before. Then return the gaze to where the wall meets the ceiling. We're elongating the spine. One more full breath. And then inhale, press all the way up. Maybe step it out into those feet a little bit. Good. And then we're going to step back into our high lunge. So the left foot will stay firmly grounded. We're going to step back with the right. Good. And so here we're still holding on to the chair. The ball of the foot is pressing firmly into the mat behind us. And then we're going to bend into this knee. Left knee stays over the left ankle and then straighten the leg. So you see my left thigh is not parallel to the floor. This is like they do in Yoga Magazine. Okay, so we just want to press through that back ball of the foot, keep the left knee over the left ankle, press firmly through the left foot, elongate through the spine, core is engaged, so you might feel your booty sticking out, and that means that our belly is not engaged. So we want to hug that in, engage the belly, press firmly through the back toes, left knee over the left ankle. We're keeping a hold of our chair for balance and stability, long throughout the spine. Good. And then on our next exhale, you can take one big step back towards the front of the mat, or maybe it's a couple of little steps. No worries. Coming over to the opposite side. So we're going to step that left leg back, pressing the ball of the foot into the mat. Right knee is over the right ankle, and long through the spine. Core is engaged. Make sure you have a good grasp on your chair. Gaze is lifted. We're breathing, thinking about all of our alignment cues. Staying here in a pose. Pressing firmly through that back ball of the foot. Good. And then on your next inhale or exhale, we'll gently release, stepping that back foot one big step up or a couple steps up. No worries. All right, one more time on each side. So we'll step that right foot back, ball of the foot, planted firmly, left knee over the left ankle. Engage the core. Press firmly through that back ball of the foot. Elongate through the spine, gaze is lifted. And breathe. We'll press through that back ball of the foot, take a couple steps or one big step up and switch to the opposite side. So left foot steps back, right knee over the right ankle. Left ball of the foot is grounded into the mat tall throughout the spine. And we're breathing. Good. On your next inhale, we'll step that back foot up or take a couple steps up and come back to the back of the chair. Good. All right. So I'm going to turn the chair back forward. We're still going to stay behind the chair, but we're going to move a little bit differently now. So instead of stepping back, we're going to step off to the side. So we're going to move into what's called a side lunge or skandasana. So we're going to step our right foot out first. So we're in a nice wide stance. I'm going to move the chair out of the way just so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to turn and rotate on the left heel. Okay? So our left toes are up. We're holding on to the chair because the chair is actually going to stay right here. Right outside blade of the foot is grounded into the mat, and we're just going to bend into this right knee. So you might feel a little stretch down the left hamstring, maybe into the back of the calf on the left leg. So we're just coming into a little skandasana. You can keep one hand on the chair or two hands or one on the hip. Good, and then we'll press through that right foot, come back to behind the chair, and step the opposite foot out. We're going to rotate on that right heel, so the right toes face towards the ceiling. And we're going to bend into the left leg, while grounding down through the outside blade of the left foot. Good, so skandasana on the opposite side. And remember to breathe. Good, pressing back through that left foot, coming back to behind the chair. We'll do one more on each side. So right foot steps out, left toes turn up. Grounded down through the outside blade of the right foot. I'm going to bend into the right knee, and I'm sending my booty back. Good. One more full breath. Good, and then I'll press through my right foot, plant my left foot back on the mat, and come back to behind my chair. Good, last one on the opposite side, left foot steps out, right toes turn up. Good, I'll bend into my left knee, grounding down through the outside blade of my left foot. Send the booty back a little bit. Keep long throughout the spine. And breathe. And then inhale, come back to upright. Step your left foot back in. Good. You may want to turn your chair for this next one. We're going to come into a little bit of a tree pose. So I like being able to have my hand here on the back of the chair. If it's more comfortable to come to a wall, feel free to do so. But we're going to put our weight into our left foot. And we have 3 options because we don't have a block, otherwise we'd have 4. And we're going to take the ball of the right foot to the mat with the heel to the inside of the leg. Okay, so option 1 is right here. Good. Option 2, that right foot is lifted a little bit more so it's onto the calf. Or right foot all the way to the inside of the left thigh. Good, and then wherever we press the foot, we want the leg to be pressing back. So we're doing that push-pull again. So we're pushing and pushing on both sides. Elongate through the spine, gaze is lifted, hand can stay onto the chair or wall. Right hand can come up, creating our tree. Can stay here at heart center, or can stay on the hip. Feel free to add in the opposite hand if you like, and feel confident and comfortable doing so. Just make sure that you're staying safe with whichever option you've chosen. And breathe. Ooh, and no worries if there's a little wind into your tree today. We all have windy days. And then on your next exhale, we'll release the hands, release the foot, and come back to neutral. Good, so coming over to the opposite side. The right foot is firmly planted. The left ball of the foot is either on the mat, palm of the foot pressing into the calf, or all the way into the thigh. We're pressing the foot into the thigh and the thigh resists, pressing back. Inhale the left hand up when you're ready. Good. If you'd like to add in a little bit more, feel free to do so. We always have that chair or wall to grab back onto if needed. And breathe. Good. On your next exhale, release your hand, your hands, and release your leg. Good. Coming back to neutral. We're going to come back down to our chairs today. We're all done with standing poses. Good. So coming here, back to our chair. We're going to hug the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a good little hug. And then we're going to cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh, finding our figure 4 stretch or seated pigeon. Good. So from here, I'm pressing my right ankle into the top of my left thigh. So I'm having that activation. I feel all the way into my right glute. My toes are engaged, pulling back towards the kneecap. And I'm tall throughout the spine. If I want a little bit more of a stretch here, all I have to do is begin to hinge forward, keeping that length in my spine. Hands can come down by your sides. They can hang onto your hips, or they can simply rest without pushing onto the top of the shin. If you need more than just hinging forward and the activation of pressing the ankle in, we can take the right hand to the center of the right thigh. We just want to avoid the knee. And just a gentle nudge here. Being nice and easy. Good, and breathe. Make sure we're keeping that activation in the toes. Pressing down throughout the ankle. My left foot is grounded. Good, and then on the next exhale here, we'll gently release, coming back to upright. We're going to be kind to our legs, so we're going to assist this left ankle back down to the floor. Good. And then we'll inhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Good. And then we'll take the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Good. Remember, toes are engaged. Ankle is pressing into the top of the thigh. Left knee is flaring out, but we're not pressing into the knee. We can hinge forward with a long spine if we'd like to, and bring the left hand to the center of the left thigh if we need even more of a stretch here. Good. So we're just keeping length in the spine, coming back to our breath. Staying present in the moment by following our breath or thinking about our alignment cues. Grounding down through the right foot, pressing firmly through the left ankle, engaging the toes, staying long through the spine, and breathe. Good. And then on your next inhale, we'll come back to upright. We'll gently assist this left ankle back down to the mat. Good. And then inhale, reach the hands up. Nice and long. And then exhale all the way down, forward fold.
Just let your head, neck, and shoulders go here, releasing any muscle tension you may have left. And then on your next inhale, we'll let the fingertips stay heavy, but we'll slowly rise through each vertebrae.
Inhaling one more time here. Nice big stretch. And then exhale, swan dive down. Forward fold.
Let it go. Release your head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe shake your head yes or no here. And then inhale, slowly roll all the way back up.
Inhaling, reaching your hands overhead. This time also pointing your toes. Oh, big full body stretch. And then exhale, release everything down. Good. You have the option here to stay seated in your chair. Letting your back come to the back of the chair, resting your palms, palm up or palm down on your thighs. You can come to laying out on your mat, or you can even use your chair to put the backs of your calves on as you lay, onto the floor. So wherever you'd like to be, begin to set up and settle in. Feeling all points of contact between your body and your chair or your mat. Just acknowledging your breath. Maybe scanning the body one more time. Just checking in. Maybe things feel a little bit different now. Maybe we worked a few of the kinks out. And then, starting from your big toe, begin to relax and allow the body to release. Relaxing the feet and calves. Releasing any muscle tension from the thighs and the hips. Relaxing your torso and your shoulders. Allowing your shoulders to fall away from the ears, just naturally here. Letting your arms and hands be heavy. Letting your head stack gently over your spine. Releasing any tension from the arms and hands. Relaxing the throat, maybe just taking a gentle swallow, letting the jaw part and the tongue to rest in the mouth. Releasing all the tension from the tiny muscles across your face. Thoughts arise, simply return your attention to the inhale and exhale. Just letting it gently flow through, naturally and effortlessly. And enjoy your Savasana. side, or wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe swirl your wrists and ankles. And then if it feels good to you, you can take one more big stretch, maybe hooking your thumbs, pointing your toes. And then whenever you're ready, release it all down. If you're on your mat, feel free to roll to one side. We'll all pause here.
It's 10 o'clock.
And then if you're lying down, press yourself back up to seated. We'll all bring our hands to heart center. Thank you for joining me again. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to still be able to share yoga with you. I appreciate your presence and your continued support for the Woodlands Yoga Studio. I hope you all stay healthy and safe and have a wonderful rest of your week. Namaste.